we get on with this video, I would highly recommend clicking the video in the description box. This will give you a good background and context before we get on with this video right here, so you can watch this with an open mind and kind of be more enlightened about the whole situation. So naturally, before we get on with the video, there's just a couple disclaimers I want to get out of the way. The first thing is that I did pay for all of these slimes with my own money that I make off of YouTube. The second thing is that I include shipping in the overall price, so if these slimes come out to less than $100, that is why. And might I add that shipping is very expensive with her. I'm not really sure why. It was like $25 though, so. And the third thing is probably the most exciting. I am starting up a brand new YouTube channel at Julia Catherine, where I'll be posting more about my personal life on there. So if you think that's even a little bit interesting, I'll have a link down below if you want to go check it out. And the fourth thing is, I just want you to know, despite all of the drama I got myself into with my last SlimeYoda review, I'm not going to feel obligated to be really nice during this review. I'm still going to be 100% honest with you guys, but I'm just going to be more self-aware about the stuff that I'm saying. So of course, I'm going to be using my handy dandy scissors and some activator in case any of the slimes got sticky over shipping. Oh my god. What the heck? If she was trying to win me over with candy, she might have really succeeded here. So as you can see, all of your slimes come packaged in these screw top like containers that pretty much every slime seller uses. These containers are super sturdy and I never really have a problem with them breaking, only occasionally. On the top of her slime, she just has her SlimeYoda label, and on the bottom she has her labels. So to avoid the mistake that I made in her last slime review, I have screenshotted all of the slime descriptions from her slime shop. Right here I have Stanley's Pretzel Puff. And might I add that I really like the background of these stickers. They are really cute and I love that extra hint of detail that she puts into her slimes. Okay, right off the bat, this looks so thick. I'm excited. Ooh. So I will admit that this slime does have a little bit of a slightly moist texture when you first poke it, but that was explained on her slime shop, so that's all good. This slime has a really smooth, soft, and creamy texture to it, and it definitely does feel like it has some thickening agent in there. So I think the only thing we have left to do is inflate this slime. So welcome to my bedroom. There's my dog. So I'm just gonna be showing you guys inflating the slime like this because it's kind of hard to show under my ring light. From my perception of what other people said, it sounds like just stretching the slime and not popping the bubbles will give you the best puff. And before I start getting comments, I do have pants on, so don't come for me. Okay, so I can already tell right off the bat that this is definitely the most effective way to puff up her slimes. I can already feel this getting so much thicker. Ooh, ew. Oh, my arms burn. So I am noticing that it is getting slightly more sticky the puffier it gets, but that's to be expected. That does happen with a lot of slimes when they self-inflate. Okay, so we're coming up on 4 minutes of filming right now. I'm gonna call it quits on puffing up this slime. I'm gonna put it back under my desk without popping any of the bubbles. You saw it here first, folks. So here's the slime after puffing it for 4 minutes. Oh, whoa. Alright then, so yes, I definitely did get amazing results. I would say this over doubled in size, maybe even tripled. Wow. Now that we did the overall results, I'm just gonna start popping the bubbles again because, I don't know, I just really wanna. So after you puff this slime up a lot, it gets super, super puffy. It's like the same exact texture, just filled with air. It also has a slightly sizzling texture. The scent reminds me a lot of Tibble Slimes' mozzarella stick slime. It just reminds me a lot of a bread scent with some seasoning. So overall, I'm gonna give this slime a 10 out of 10. It definitely did what it said it was going to do, and now that I puffed it up the right way, obviously the results are a lot more effective. Up next, we have Peaches and Cream Thicky. And I think this slime was inspired by this ice cream brand, Halo. Okay. It is very thick and creamy. I really like that it feels like it's made out of half school glue and half glue all because you get the benefits of both glues. Because it feels like there's a little bit of glue all in there, it is super creamy, thick, glossy, and just like soft. But because of the school glue, it is also extremely stretchy, also very glossy, and very pokeable. This slime just has this really nice orange color to it. And there are some foam beads scattered around in there. It's kind of hard to see, but he purposely puts the foam beads in very thin, just for appearance, not so much for texture. Gloss is really nice. I wouldn't say this is the thickest slime that I've ever felt, but it is mega stretchy. Sometimes with glue oil-based slimes, I have a problem with them ripping, but that is not the problem here, my people. This also smells extremely realistic. It smells exactly like mangoes. So overall, I'm gonna give this slime a 10 out of 10. Up next, we have Down Syndrome Awareness Snoof. So this slime is definitely on the pricier side, but she did say that half these proceeds are going towards Down syndrome awareness, so respect. Because in the grand scheme of things, she technically isn't making any profit on this slime. So after the slime is all mixed together, it actually gives off this really beautiful lime green color. That yellow layer felt like a bread puff slime, and the blue layer kind of felt like a jelly slime texture. And when mixed together, you just kind of have this in the middle texture that I've never actually felt before, and this is so unique, I'm kind of obsessed. Kind of feels like a cloud cream texture. And this was explained in the description, but I am going to mention that there was a very, very wet residue on your hands when you first started playing with it. So let's just puff this up. So wow, this did puff up a lot. I'd say I was playing with it for 4 to 5 minutes. It isn't as puffy as the first puff slime, but it did self-inflate a lot. Maybe it didn't self-inflate as much because half of the slime was the jelly slime texture, I'm not really sure. So after the slime is all puffed up and everything, I do feel like there is a slightly wet residue still left on my hands, but it is significantly better than at the beginning. The wet residue was really, really intense, but now it is just very light. It kind of feels more like a very light moisturizer on your hands. Despite the slime being very puffy, it also feels extremely thick. So now it just feels super sizzly and puffy. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of this scent. It does have a little bit of a tutti frutti kind of sweet scent, but it does have an undertone of what smells like sweet, sweaty socks to me. So overall, I'm going to give this slime a 9.8 out of 10, and that is only because of the scent. Everything else about this slime completely won me over. Up next, we have Mango Cupcake Thickie. Before we go and mix this up, this slime texture is a little bit different compared to the other ones because instead of just having foam beads in here, it looks like we have these little foam chunks that are meant to look like mango chunks. It is very cute, and I really like that hint of detail. And then we also just have some orange and blood orange colored foam beads in here. Okay, so once again, this does feel a lot like her other Thickie texture. It feels like it is a blend between a school glue slime and a glue wall slime. This one does feel like it is a little bit closer to the school glue side because it does feel a little bit thinner than the other one. And it does feel a little bit more melty and jiggly in my hands. So it does look like I found a little hair in my slime. So I think I got the hair out. So that isn't a huge deal because I do understand that it was a very small piece of hair, and I'm sure it is very easy to get hair stuck in the slime, but that does kind of gross me out a little bit. So just like her other Thickie textures, this is super stretchy, creamy, pokeable, smooth, flossy. I mean, this slime has it all, including a piece of hair.
And
So this slime does have a very, very light scent of mangoes. I'm not gonna lie, I do wish the scent was a little bit stronger because it is very, very yummy, but I can barely smell it in this slime. So despite the slime being very, very thick, it isn't the thickest slime that I've seen her make. So overall, I'm gonna give this slime a 9 out of 10. I'm taking off 0.5 because I do wish the scent was a little bit stronger because it does smell so incredibly yummy. I just want a whole gallon of it. And because of that little hair in there. And might I also mention that I do wish this slime was a little bit thicker. It feels more like a school glue base instead of her classic Thickie slimes. So up next we have Blueberry Crumb Puff. It is a little bit difficult to read on the label, but this label is so adorable. Ooh. So just like all of our other puff slimes, it does have a very wet texture initially. Ooh, I would say this one is definitely the wettest though. I feel like I just dunked my hands in a big bucket of lotion. That isn't always a bad thing though. This is very smooth and creamy and soft when I just squish it. It feels like this is the creamiest puff slime base ever. The more I play with it though, the more the wet residue seems to disappear into the slime. So let's just get into puffing. So back into the container we go for the overall evaluation. But I would say that this slime did puff up the least. It did puff up a lot, do not get me wrong, but it didn't puff up as much as Stanley's Pretzel Puff or the Down Syndrome Awareness Slime. And by the way, I did play with all of our puff slimes for the same amount of time, the same exact way, so the variables are kept consistent. So after it is all puffed up, it just has this really fluffy texture to it. This slime doesn't seem as sizzly as the other ones. It kind of feels more creamy. So once again, this slime does have a very light scent, which is a little bit disappointing to me because this scent does smell very delicious and it is very intricate. I was really sniffing for it, and it does have a very nice blueberry scent, and it does hit every aspect of the blueberry. It's sweet but also has that little hint of tartness. And I also smell some type of like cookie crumble or something in there. It's really cool how you can smell every part of this scent. I'm impressed. So overall, I'm gonna give this slime a 9.5 out of 10. I just wish there was a little bit more of that scent in there because it is very delicious. I can just barely smell it though, which is kind of sad. She gave me her Cloud Sky Thickie as an extra. I am so incredibly grateful for this because this slime would probably be about $10, so thank you. So this does once again feel like her really nice school glue slime mixed with glue all, but this one definitely does feel closer on the glue all side. There are no little add-ons in it because it is just focusing on this really beautiful gloss and thickness. This slime is very smooth, creamy, bubble pops are real good, glossy, and pokeable. But because it is very thick, it does come off as a little bit rubbery sometimes when you go to stretch it. But if you stretch the slime really slow, you shouldn't really have a problem with it breaking. Unfortunately, I'm filming this review after the slime is off her listing, so I can't really read the description of it. This also smells a lot like a type of cleaning supplies. I'm personally not a huge fan of this scent because it does smell a little bit chemically to me. So overall, I am going to give this slime an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to be taking off 0.5 for the scent because I'm personally not a huge fan of it, but some of you may love it. And I'm taking a point off because it is a little bit rubbery at times. So last but definitely not least, we have Peach Punch Puff. Oh wow. So inside of this slime, before I go and mix it all up, instead of it just being a plain puff slime like her other ones, this one actually has these little pop rock looking things in here to give it a little hint of texture and detail. So I do have to say I think this slime has the least amount of wet residue compared to some of the other ones. And this pretty much has the same exact base texture as all the other ones. It does feel a little bit thicker, but her puff slime bases are always consistently creamy, soft, spreadable, thick, and stretchy. So let's just get on to puffing. So I do have to say that this slime looks like it did puff up the least out of all of them, but I did notice that the thicker the slime base, the less it puffs up and the less sizzly it gets. So she did explain to me that she does purposely put different amounts of clay inside of her puff slimes to give them a variation of different textures, but I would specify this in the description of the slime because some people may be looking for a super puffy slime, while others are looking for more of a thick puff slime. So it just obviously depends on your personal preference, but if they're going to invest in one of your slimes, I feel like they should be aware of what they're getting themselves into. So this just kind of feels like a really thick butter slime when you play with it a lot, not so much a puff slime. So the slime smells really good. I was actually expecting it to smell like Peeps, but I just read the description and it said it is scented like raspberry lemonade. Overall, I'm going to give this slime a 10 out of 10. I think it is absolutely fair to say that she has spoiled me with extras. I think this is the most amount of extras that I've ever received in a slime package. So on top of her giving me a free 8-ounce slime, which is absolutely amazing, and I am so grateful for that, she gave me all of these goodies. So let's just start going through them. I got a pack of rainbow foam beads, a full-size package of Peeps, a SlimeYoda business card, and I will be sure to link it all down below if you want to go check her out as well. She is the biggest merch shop I've ever seen. She has her own personalized SlimeYoda pen, 2 SlimeYoda bracelets that say Got Thicky and SlimeYoda on the other side. And then a pop socket? Like, are you joking? These are so expensive, like what? And then a little SlimeYoda pin, a SlimeYoda tattoo, and some borax. So overall, I really love this slime package from SlimeYoda, and I do have to say that this review seemed a lot more positive now that I knew more about her slimes and the intents of them. But the only thing I could say about this review is that I wish she was a little bit more adventurous with her slime textures. So, obviously, no hate, SlimeYoda. I hope you can take this all as constructive criticism, I'm not trying to bash out on you, your slime shop, your business, anything of that sort. So, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button down below and a little post notification bell right next to it to be notified every time I post a new video. By doing this, you'll become a member of the hashtag notification squad and one of my timers. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be sure to see you all next week. Bye!